Welcome back, everyone. Now that we have come this far, now that we have seen 7 types of primitives in Java, let's look at the last primitive that Java makes available for us programmers. This is another special non-numeric primitive, and this is categorized as logical data type, logical primitive, right? So it is called boolean, right? Now, logical, when you say logical, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Whether this makes sense or not, right? Whether it is logical or not, whether it is a yes or no, whether it is a true or false. Boolean has 2 values, either true or false. And default is false. Let's do this way. Let's go from positive, right? Either true or false. Obviously, some of you might already have guessed the size of it. If you have not, please think about it for a second. What can be the size of a Boolean that has either true value or false value? Does this resemble the concept of on or off? Or does this resemble the concept of 0 or 1? If it did, then, and if you guessed the size of it, then congratulations, you have a clear idea of what you're doing, right? Obviously, the size of a Boolean is the smallest, and it is just 1 bit. Now, pay attention, it is 1 bit, not a byte. 1 bit is equal to 1 transmitter, right? Boolean takes as small size of memory as 1 bit. And have you thought about how many bits we have in a megabyte or gigabyte or terabyte? I believe these are the questions as a food for thought during our within our content materials. So please do give a minute and think about it. Think about what does 500 megabytes of a storage in your computer hard drive mean, okay? And Boolean takes only 1 bit of it. There are 2 values of a Boolean, right? Values of a Boolean, column, true or false. And I will organize these right here. On or off, 0 or 1. Looks better, right? So, and its size, what was our standard? Size is, let's do this. Let's take it up here, right? Size is, right? Total, let's keep our standards, total possible values, you guessed it, 2. Values of Boolean as high as positive as true, as negative as false. Default value, can you guess what the default value is, even though I stated it once? But what is the default value for a computer? Is it on or off? By default, the computer is off, and it's trying to preserve energy, right? So by default, our Boolean value is going to be off, or 0, or false, right? So we don't need to write all this logical, we don't need to write all this logic how we got to false, but we need to remember it that 0 stands for no electricity, 0 stands for null, and it stands for false. And default value is false. That's it. This is a Boolean. This is our logical data type. This is the smallest primitive. However, we will see how big of implementations the Boolean has in Java, even though it is just 1 bit of a size. It will do a lot. Okay, just a quick recap of what we did. We looked at primitives as data types in Java. We looked at numeric primitives, byte being the smallest, that has a size of 1 byte. Short being second smallest, that has a size of 2 bytes. Int being default numeric variable for Java with a size of 4 bytes. long being the longest, the largest primitive, numeric primitive for Java with a size of 8 bytes. Floating numbers primitives in Java are going to be float that has 4 bytes of a size. It's a single precision variable, and it needs to be its default value 0.0, and it needs every float number needs to end with an F to represent it being a float. Otherwise, it will be represented as double, which is the standard floating number variable in Java. It has a size of 8 bytes, the same as long, right? It has double precision, and its default value is 0.0. It can end with D, but it is optional. We have 2 non-numeric primitive types in Java. First one being textual data type, which is char. It still takes 2 bytes of memory because we are able to store, Java is able to define 65,000 possible characters, right? Everything in Java is everything that we see on the screen is a character, including the space, right? And lowercase letters and uppercase letters are completely different characters. If my memory doesn't, if I'm not mistaken, like lowercase a is 90 is equal to 90 something in a decimal value of a char. Uppercase a is equal to 60 something, right? So anytime you refer to a char, please refer to an ASCII table, right? This ASCII or ASCII table will define, will give you basic chars, the most common chars out there. And the last data type, last primitive data type or logical data type is boolean. It has only, it is as small as 1 bit. It is of atomic scale. It has 2 potential values, which are true or false, false being the default value. This completes our theory analysis into Java primitives. Next time we'll look into primitives from the point of view of declaring them and assigning them, and then operations on primitives. Thank you very much for your time.